Man, Jonathan Taylor had himself a day. 29 carries, 218 yards, three
Damn.
touchdowns.
Wow. I say the same thing to the Titans that I said to the Browns. How dare you take my interception streak away from me, man? You take my. It's not like you're gonna win the game, man. Give me my interception streak. I need it in my life. I look forward to this every weekend, and you just took it away from me like that. So I mean, there are no surprises there, man. I mean, it's surprised that it was a blowout, but the Colts are a much better team than the Titans. Like I said, no surprises there. I ain't got much to say about that game. Two bad teams playing. One put up more points than the other one.
Some things in life just are the way they are. Like Michigan is cold in the winter. Um, Will Levis and Jameis Winston are going to throw interceptions, and the New York Jets are going to lose football games. And the LA Rams went to New Jersey to take on the Jets. Rams 19, Jets 9. Uh, just not much of a game. Aaron Rodgers had 256 yards, completed one touchdown to Devontae Adams, and Kyron Williams ran for 122 yards. Not a big game from Puka, not a big game from Cup. Rams just went in there, got the victory, and got out.
Yeah, man. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been seeing. I mean, uh, I mean, Adams has been making. Devontae Adams has been making some amazing catches, man. And everybody is like, "Oh, do they finally got that connection back?" And yeah, man, Devontae Adams has been making some good catches, and maybe they do have that connection back. But is that helping them come back and win games? Not at all. Not at all. It's not. It's not helping them a bit. They're still out there losing games. They won a game. They won a game last week. Who did they play last week? It was the Giants, wasn't it? Was it the Giants they played last week?
Yeah, they played a bad team last week. It might have been the Giants.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a team that you could pick 11 dudes off the street and win. Any if we had an NFL team right now, we could find 11 of our friends and go out there and beat the Giants right now. So you can't really count that.
All right, another game we talked about. Philadelphia went to Washington to take on the Commanders. Philadelphia built a 21-7 lead to start the game off. Jalen Hurts left the game with a concussion, and then Jaden Daniels put the team on his back, carried the load, finished the day with 5 touchdowns, 258 yards.
Um, this was a really interesting game, man, because it was a good game, but I feel like it shouldn't have been a good game because uh the Commanders won, man, but they should have been won that game. The Eagles gave the Commanders so many opportunities to win that game, and every time they did, the Commanders would fumble the ball or Jalen Daniels would throw a pick off. And despite the good game that he did have and him putting the team on his back, they made a lot of mistakes out there, man. And I just feel like the Commanders should have put that game a long time ago. So I don't know if that was the fact that Jalen Hurts wasn't playing or just the Commanders were just out there making so many mistakes. But going forward, man, I'm not sure. Somebody was telling me that they are that. So my thing is, we said it a couple of weeks ago. If you stop Saquon Barkley, that is the key to stopping. That is the key to stopping the Eagles. And somebody was telling me that they were scared of Jalen Hurts. Like when Jalen Hurts comes back, you know what I'm saying? That's what you need to be scared of. And I disagree, man. I feel like the Eagles without Saquon Barkley are not really a threat. I mean, they're still a good team, but do you fear them? If they didn't have Saquon Barkley out there, would you fear them? So if you stop Saquon Barkley, essentially you got more of a chance to beat the Eagles than you do without them. And Jalen Hurts went out of that game, but Saquon Barkley still had like an 80-yard touchdown, and he was still out there making plays. So essentially, are the Eagles that much of a fearful team without Saquon Barkley? What do you think?
You might be talking to the wrong guy because I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan. Saquon Barkley finished the game with 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and you didn't have Jalen Hurts for a majority of that game, and the Commanders only won by 3, and it took a Herculean effort from Jaden Daniels throwing 5 touchdowns. So if somebody made the argument that the Commanders would have lost that game with Jalen Hurts out there, I wouldn't have said they were wrong.
Yeah, okay, but let's say you take Saquon Barkley out of that game and substitute in Jalen Hurts, and don't forget that the Commanders still had 4 turnovers.
Yeah, but Kenny Pickett was throwing interceptions as well. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we've seen Jalen Hurts without Saquon Barkley, and he took that team to the Super Bowl. So
Yeah, that was with
don't say
Jason
that man's
Kelsey.
name. Oh, okay. I was just about to say that man's name, the man that you've
That, that
belittled.
was with that was with Jason Kelsey and with DeAndre Swift on the team.
How dare you invoke the name of DeAndre Swift? Mm-mm.
And then at the end of the year, it all fell apart. It all fell apart, and they just couldn't get it done last year, man. And Saquon Barkley came in and revitalized them because before they made that trade, I wasn't concerned about the Eagles like I am now.
Yeah. That's your island to be on, man. without Saquon Barkley, you could give as much credit to Jason Kelsey as you want. Their offensive line has been fine this whole time without Jason Kelsey, in my opinion. And even without Saquon Barkley, they made it to the Super Bowl, and they only lost by a field goal to the Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, don't get me wrong, Saquon and Jalen Hurts is a deadly combination. If you take one of them away, then yeah, they're not as good of a team. But at the same time, those are 2 All-Pro players at their position. So and like I said, I love Jalen Hurts. The only thing that I could say about Jalen Hurts, to your point, is Jalen Hurts doesn't run like he used to, in my opinion. So if you tell me that you take away Saquon Barkley and then Jalen Hurts continues to not run as much as he does and continue to rely on his arm, don't get me wrong. I'm all for it, but at the same time, I do like how when the play breaks down, he used to run a lot, but now he's more of the Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, just scrambling around to make time before he lets the ball go. So a Jalen Hurts that's not running, that's not as scary of a task.
And don't get me wrong, real quick. I just want to say that I'm not saying that I want anybody to think that I'm saying Jalen Hurts is not good. I'm just simply saying, to me, Saquon Barkley on the Eagles is more of a threat than Jalen Hurts is out there. And I feel like if you shut down Saquon Barkley, the Eagles are more of a beatable team than if you focused on trying to shut down Jalen Hurts and let Saquon Barkley run wild.
The Arizona Cardinals went to Carolina to take on your Panthers.
Oh, they my Panthers now.
A heck of an effort from your boy Chuba Hubbard. 152 yards and the game-winning touchdown and another touchdown. The same way that I wanted more. I wanted to see more from Michael Penix for my fantasy team. Is the same way that I will never, ever draft Marvin Harrison Jr. in fantasy football again. Uh, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a bust. This guy, I don't
Duh.
know what's wrong with the guy. I don't understand how your father is a Hall of Fame NFL player. You have football in your DNA, and you don't know what's going on out there. That's all.
Duh. Leave Marvin Harrison Jr. alone, man. He's a rookie. It's gonna some guys it takes longer to get it down than others. I feel like I'm not gonna I'm not I'm not gonna call him a bust.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Look out, bust.
I'm not gonna call him a bust, man. The guy just needs time. He needs I don't know, man. The Arizona Cardinals are just falling apart right now, man. I don't think it's one person's fault in particular. I just think they got some stuff that they need to work on to clean up and come together as a team.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is one. He's the one person in particular whose fault it is.
Man, shout out to Bryce Young, man. I've been wanting to see him do good, and a lot of people call him a bust as a rookie as well. And it's good to see him come into his own.
Just to further my argument on what a bust, what a bust Marvin Harrison Jr. is. Marvin Harrison Jr. went. Where'd he go? Third overall, fourth overall.
It was like third. I think it was third. I can't remember. Yeah, third or fourth.
Yeah, regardless, top 5 pick in the NFL draft. Let's just look at some names right here.
Oh my God!
Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors, 6 overall pick. He's had probably like 5 quarterbacks throw to him this season. Doesn't matter. Kid has 969 yards on the season, 4 touchdowns. My personal favorite, Brian Thomas Jr., 23rd pick overall, plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars, a bum of an organization. Doesn't matter. Kid's got 1,088 yards, 9 touchdowns on the season, 73 catches. Kid's amazing. I love this guy. Hey, let's even tone it down a notch. Let's go to the second round. Pick number 34, LA Chargers, Lab McConkey, a white wide receiver, 960 yards, 5 touchdowns. McConkey is killing it. Came into the league with people saying, hey, this guy's going to be good. Same way they said about Marvin Harrison Jr. Speaking of Marvin Harrison Jr., let's look at his numbers. Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, granted, he's only had Kyler Murray thrown to him. I mean, it's not like Kyler Murray's done anything. and Marvin Harrison is behind all these people. 726 yards. He does have 7 touchdowns. Most of them came from like multiple touchdowns in one game. 38th in the league. Dude's a bust. All right, I digress.
Leave the kid alone, man. Leave the kid alone. Sometimes it takes some guys longer than others.
Bust. Minnesota went to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. I thought this was the game that Minnesota was going to slip up. Thought it would be, Philadelphia went down. Now it was Minnesota's turn, but no. Minnesota continues to win. Justin Jefferson is turning it on when it matters the most. Finished the game with 10 catches for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. I thought that Minnesota was going to lose that game too. I checked in at the score of that game right with like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Seahawks had a 3-point lead and they had the ball. I was like, bet that up, man. Looks like the Seahawks gonna win this game. All they got to do is, hold on to the ball, run the clock down and lose as much time as possible. Possibly even score. They could put this game away. But I be forgetting other teams are not the Detroit Lions, and they don't know how to run clock and control the game. And essentially, I check back a little while later, and the Vikings that came back, I took the lead in the game. Game over.
Yep. So now it's on the Green Bay, who's been playing pretty good football. So Vikings got a tough task there. So we'll see how that goes. A surprising game of the week. The outcome wasn't surprising though. The New England Patriots went to Buffalo to take on the Bills. I saw the funniest graphic on the screen at the bottom of the screen. It said that Jared Mayo will be returning as the New England Patriots head coach, barring epic collapse these last 3 games.
What could possibly be a collapse from what you've already done this season?
That's a great point. I mean, because I hope it's not going 0-3, because that is very likely. They might not go.
Is it? I mean, the only thing I can think of worse is if like Mayo tripped over a gasoline bottle and burned down the building, and they're like, "Oh, that's an epic collapse."
That's a great question. I just thought that didn't even need to be said. Yeah, like if the dude goes out and runs over, Christmas carolers, then yeah, he's not coming back. But I just thought that didn't be said because, to your point, what's epic collapse like? I hope they've already, like you said, they've already lost 12 games. They're 3-12 on the season. This was the 12th game they lost. They only got 3 more games. They only had 3 more games left. So their schedule was the Bills, which they lost. They're playing the Chargers next week, which they're
going to lose.
And they get to finish the season off again with the Buffalo Bills. So, that's a great question.
They're going to lose.
They're going to lose. So I don't know what an epic collapse is. I guess there's a margin of blowout that the owner, that Robert Kraft, is only willing to tolerate. So I don't know. It's a great question.
What is your? I mean, are they friends? What is your tolerance rate? Like, you've lost 12 games. If you lose 3 more, that's where the line is.
I mean, I guess he's just a favorite, a hometown favorite, so they're gonna give him another season. But because hey, when you think about it, man, where are the Patriots really going?
You got me there, man. That's a great point.
Yeah. So it was
they've got Drake May. I mean, but other than that, I could not name you another. I could not name you another Patriot.
Oh, it's Booty. Booty, you ain't up on Booty? Booty finished the game with 5 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. He's not bad. He's a fine receiver. But yeah, Josh Allen with average performance, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 30 yards on the ground. He just kind of woke up and was like, all right, let's beat the Patriots and go home. Uh, the Jacksonville. Oh man, what a game this was! The Jacksonville Jaguars went to L.A. I'm sorry, went to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders.
Oh my God.
If you watch this, yeah, if you watch this game, then you love football. I don't know what to say. It's like one of
Dog, that
those. There's
sounds
nothing
like
else on TV, but back. Let's just put the song in the background.
that sounds like a horrible game, dog.
Yeah, I imagine it was a horrible game. I don't know anything about this game. Amir Abdullah, shout out, scored a touchdown for the Raiders,
He's
and
still in the league.
he's still in the league. He's still in the league, man. Yeah, he's been in the league for a while, I feel like. But nah, whenever the Raiders are in trouble, they always call on Amir Abdullah. And Brian Thompson, Brian, Brian Thomas Jr., my boy finished the game with 9 catches, 132 yards, and 1 touchdown. The funniest thing about Brian Thomas Jr. Is that this guy does nothing the whole game, and then in the fourth quarter, this guy catches like 4 balls for like 70 yards and a touchdown every game. It's amazing. It's just simply amazing. Um, the the washed the washed San Francisco 49ers went to Miami. Wow, I did not know Miami won this game. Went to Miami
I
and
didn't either. Wow.
took on the Dolphins. The Dolphins 29, the 49ers 17. Devin A-Chain went crazy with 120 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, every time I looked up, Tyreek Hill was dropping a catch, but I guess it did not matter because the Dolphins pulled away on this one.
Wow, that was amazing, man. Every time I checked the score of that game, the Dolphins were down, and I lost interest. I didn't even go back and check. So the fact that Miami won that game is amazing.
Yeah, it was a pedestrian effort from Tua. 215 yards, 1 touchdown. I'm assuming there was a defensive touchdown. It does not have that on here. But yeah. Deebo Samuel, ever since he made his little tweet about not getting the ball, I feel like that's all they've been trying to do is get him the ball. So if that team wasn't already in flux, I feel like it's only going worse from here. So maybe it's a good time for the Lions to get him.
Hey, whatever they're doing, man, to lose these games, they need to keep doing it next week.
I'm with you. And another surprisingly good game. Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay Buccaneers went to Dallas to take on the Fighting Jerry Joneses, who will just not say die. Dallas wins. Dallas wins the game 26-24.
They still trying to make the playoffs, man. It's like, why? Just roll over and die.
They refuse to die. It's a joke to be made there, but I'm not gonna make it. But no, Cooper, your boy Cooper Rush. Whenever they need a backup quarterback to come in, Cooper Rush is there to save the day. He had almost 300 yards, 1 touchdown. They couldn't run the ball, but their defense showed up. On the flip side, Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield had 1 interception, 2 touchdowns, 300 yards. It was just a pretty back and forth game. Tampa Bay finished the game with they had 3. Oh no, they lost 1 fumble. Dallas did not lose a fumble, so it probably came down to turnovers. Yeah, turnovers.
One thing I will say, man, in spite of all the jokes that I'm making, Dallas came out there and played a good physical defensive game, man. And one thing I will say is the plays I did see in that game, man, they were out there hitting. So I won't take that away from them, man. And that they came out there and they are making a valiant effort to make the playoffs. That has absolutely nothing to do with the postseason. If they some way somehow do make it into the playoffs, it's going to be bad for them.
Yeah, that would be funny to watch though. All right, last game we got here. The New Orleans Saints are going to Green Bay tonight for Monday Night Football. I was in 4 different playoffs. I was in 4 different fantasy football playoffs, and I've essentially been eliminated from all 4. So I will not be watching this game. But if Josh Jacobs has a career night, I can continue on my main league. So if I wake up and find out Josh Jacobs had a phenomenal game, I'll be very happy. But with that being said, I couldn't tell you who's playing for New Orleans tonight. I don't know who their quarterback is. They're on their backup running back. I don't know what's going on. And meanwhile, Green Bay has no reason to lose this game. So I'm taking the -14 with Green Bay.
I'm gonna tell you that to your point, it doesn't matter who was playing for the Saints. They could have had a full, healthy, untouched roster, and Green Bay would still come out and win this game. The Saints are just not dependable this year. Don't put any money on them. And with a 14-point spread, Green Bay is definitely going to win this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a whole lot of follow-up on that.
Yeah, man. Well, sorry guys, we didn't get a chance to put in our picks for last week. We'll see what happens in this Monday night game and see if our picks were correct for the night. And we will see you guys back here right before. Oh, we got a Monday night game, but we'll see you guys back here at the end of the week to make our picks for next week, and then we'll discuss the Lions versus San Francisco. But until then, that's all I got. You guys have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your holidays. Be safe, and Merry Christmas.
Detroit!